Future State, Wonder Woman issue 1, Joelle Jones. Nice easy one, this, because it's just Joelle Jones.
Just Joelle Jones.
Yep, nice and easy.
Yep.
So this is our real introduction to Yara Flor, our new Wonder Woman character. And I have to say, so I read this after a couple of other things, and I was very mixed in the Superman one. I'll talk about some other stuff afterwards, but I have to say, this was such a pleasant start where I'm like, oh, this is nice and well paced. It's letting the art breathe. It flows really well.
Who'd have thought she'd let her own art breathe?
I know. But right away, this felt a lot more. And Jordie Bellaire as a writer, I haven't experienced much of. She did some.
Joelle Jones.
Sorry, what did I say? Bellaire.
You said Jordie Bellaire. Who is doing the colors on this?
Yes.
Right.
Freudian slip. Okay, but
Gotcha.
what was if I remember correctly, did Joel, or was it Jordie Bellaire? See, now I'm confused. Maybe it's Jordie Bellaire.
Joelle Jones started Catwoman.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right?
Okay.
And
I was thinking.
I think 4 or 5 issues where it was art and writing before it just switched just to writing.
Right. So I was thinking of someone. I was thinking of Jordie Bellaire, I think. Anyway, so, so I thought this was pretty good. I thought this was pretty good because I thought it had I think Yara in this issue has character. Her banter with her Pegasus or whatever it is, and the banter with the little fairy imp thing.
Kyphora, which I just looked up, and this is why I love. Well, no, I love.
As soon as it mentioned the other Thunder God, I was like, oh, that's gonna love this.
Yeah, so
of course.
For me, the Wonder Woman should always play with different mythologies, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna pull. So I had zero doubt that this was coming from the Amazonian mythologies, and it does so much to the point that it says it's represented as a dark-skinned, small Native American, naked with very long red mane, smoking a cigar, and is very mischievous. So the fact at one point where the Kyphora says I was grumpy because I was quitting smoking, I thought that was just a throwaway until I just looked up the whole. So the fact that Jones is doing
that's a neat reference.
The mythological stuff there, which I feel like for me that's when Wonder Woman's really at its best.
Yeah.
So you also find it fascinating that the Tupa, the thunder god of this this place. It's fascinating that so many religions have the thunder god at the head of their pantheon.
Right. Well, because it's the sky god too, right?
Right.
It's the big, bright, open sky, right?
Yeah.
So
it's just so fascinating to me the way that so many cultures kind of developed such similar ideas.
Yeah.
and the thing about Odin, Odin's not really the sky god, but Thor is. But Thor tended to be the one that got the most worship, right, in the communities. So yeah, Connor's onto something.
So yeah, the first bunch of pages are her taking down what looks to be not quite a dragon head, but I know it's a Hydra, but it's not really revealed until after she kills it and goes, that's anticlimactic, and then it reveals, oh, here's the other 6-7 heads. So that was a fun reveal, and I think her kind of nonchalance, and even the fact that she's yelling out Jerry, because I hear someone yelling Jerry and I'm thinking Seinfeld, right? That's
I'm thinking Parks and Rec.
Okay, in that tone, with the right tone. Yeah. Okay. The biggest penis I have ever seen. So, but yeah, so this running gag that the Pegasus is kind of just doesn't give a shit and just doesn't respond to her. It's pretty funny. And just the constant kind of almost, because it's a very different Wonder Woman, because it's the story from this point on is that the what would you call the little one again? The Kyphora?
Kyphora, yeah.
Yeah. So she essentially is going to take Yara through kind of the airport terminal to
Underworld.
To Thunderworld, and it is presented with as a customs kind of thing, but with obviously different takes on the various ideas. With the Cerebus kind of asleep, and there's a great joke at one point where Yara gets really mad waiting for the toll style booth, and she snaps off the metal arm. And she bangs it on the floor, and she turns around, and everyone sort of freezes because the eyes of the Cerebus sort of wakes up, but then just goes back to sleep, and she's like, "Phew," and just sort of wipes her brow, and I chuckled at that because it was kind of it gave me this sense of fun to it that was a little bit different.
I agree. It's those small moments that got it for me as well. There's one when she's on the Pegasus flying away from the Hydra, where her sword's still buried in it, and she goes down and grabs it and just goes yoink. as she grabs it, and it's just that little moment as well. It's like, oh, that gives me a lot.
It's been a very long time since I have fallen in love with a character like this, just off of one issue. Like, I hope Yara Flor, they find a way to have her stick around.
Oh, they are going to.
No, there's going to be a TV show, Matt. They're going to have a way.
No, I know, but I'm talking like I want her just not in like a Young Justice book or something like that. Like, if they want to do a Yara Flor book with Terrell Jones,
they'll do a mini.
She's guaranteed a backup at the very least.
Well, yeah, because
there is a mini solicited. We're getting at least a 5-issue mini.
That's true.
So
I want more.
Well, there may be more after that, but I mean, at least starting in March, you're getting a mini. Well, is it March? Maybe it's April, May. But regardless,
I just like Connor said, the yoink, and then this, and just like, so she's Wonder Woman, but she's not like this graceful, like what we're used to Diana, right? Like Diana would never do any of this. She's graceful and she has etiquette.
Almost stuck up in comparison.
Yeah. Kind of, yeah. Whereas Yara's just like, this is exactly who she is, and I love it.
Yeah, she's got an attitude.
Stealing from the dead to pay the toll.
Yeah.
Sumo wrestler.
Yeah, that's what that's what I'm talking about. Where she's super mischievous. Where they're getting to this thing where they have to go into the boat with this Reaper looking fellow.
It's Sharon from Greek mythology, the boatman on the river Styx.
Sure, yes, I don't know any of this, but it's whatever. But in context of the issue, it works for me anyway, right?
Me and Matt are just irrelevant here.
And she doesn't have she's like, wait, I have to pay. There's like a toll I have to pay. It's like, yeah, of course, I'm not going to pay your way. I just said I'd get you here. And she walks back down the line, and she notices this, it's like a sumo wrestler's dead walking in the line, and he's kind of like not really paying attention. There's a coin in his hand, and it becomes this, very mischievous, like the arm stretching out from off panel to like try and grab the coin, and it's this kind of mischievous where she, and the way she kind of laughs and smiles at him when she kind of gets caught. Mm-hmm. Again, there's this kind of playful like she obviously is not an evil character. She's clearly got noble intentions in what she's doing, but she does go about doing it in a very kind of almost kids TV show. I have to do this because it's important, so I'm going to steal from this big fat man, and I'm going to try and sneak around him and get his coin so I can get to the underworld.
He has it. I must get it from her. I don't know. This is also why I love Booster and Guy Gardner as well. And so to see a girl version of it, and it's not like over the top,
Oh, she's already better.
I've seen exactly with those two.
She's already better than Guy Gardner. Let's not even have this conversation.
Whatever, it's fine.
Ask me again in a year.
But see, I felt this about when I read the Starfire book too, which it's a different kind, but that's in a lot of the same ways. The predicaments that they get in and the reaction. I feel there's a lot of with the Palmiotti Connor Starfire here. So like, I don't know. I wasn't expecting to be about this as much as I was.
Yeah. So basically, here towards the end, we have this coin thievery starts a commotion. All hell breaks loose, and the cliffhanger is that all three heads of the Cerebus, the big dog, is there. That's the cliffhanger. She's like, oh shit. Yeah, but even the way it leads to that final cliffhanger page, though, with all this fighting's happening, Yara's kind of in her element, and it's like,
what exactly is her weapon as well? Like it's kind of like the rope.
They're bullets.
Yes, thank you.
Which is another form of a lasso.
It's longer than I traditionally think of them. Because it is like on a long rope, whereas usually I feel like they're on a shorter rope.
Yeah, it's definitely kind of lasso. Yeah. But no, what I was saying though is that the way it builds to this last page, where you have again the little one's name I've forgotten already.
Kaipora.
Thank you. Where she says, "Oh Yara," and it's a very almost sitcom level of "Oh Yara," and she just starts to go, "What? Like, why are you interrupting me? Oh shit, the Cerebus is here with big red eyes and wants to eat me."
Which, I know mythology. I know how they're gonna make Fluffy fall back to sleep, right? Like,
yep.
Music soothes the savage beast. So
sure.
I know. Again, I fell in love with Yara Flor in this. She's a great character and like a nice surprise.
An impactful debut as well for a lot of characters. A lot of characters, like I'll get the first issue and go, oh, okay, there's promise. There's something here. Right. Whereas this one immediately is like, oh no, this is like a fully formed character already. I get multi-facets.
I think what's here, obviously you two are like nerding out over the mythology stuff that they're incorporating, but I think what's really neat about it is that the character is so strong and so likable to just follow into this world that it didn't matter to me that I didn't know all these, like, not in
Right.
jokes, but like, you know.
Oh, and that's important though too, because
Yeah.
again, I wasn't sure about the Kaipora. Like I am sure it was a mythological. Like I thought it was like a forest god, but then you come to find out, no, they're kind of more like a pixie. You know, like
Did you look up what the Boitata thing was? That, you know, she says,
No.
"Oh, you send that after me." It's
Yeah,
like a fire serpent sort of thing, I think.
Okay, see, so now I have to start looking into South American mythologies. That's a big old blind spot.
Yeah, me too.
But this is just this whole thing with how they did Limbo with like it's a terminal, right? Everyone is just kind of hanging out, but it looks different to other people. So even her, when she goes to go to the ferry, it looks like, from what I've seen in like movies and TV, of like a pier on the Amazonian River, on the Amazon River, you know, with like a little boathouse at the end, because that's what it appears to her. You know, that's what she's familiar with. And so there's a lot of fun mythological stuff at play in addition to all this character work. And
Yeah.
it might be my favorite Joelle Jones thing I've ever read.
This is I probably agree with that. It's a very strong
100% as a writer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very strong debut, and because we are getting a mini, because there's going to be more of Yara, and they are pushing the character, it's nice to read the first appearance and go, oh, I actually want more of her. Oh, good, fine, bring it on. Because up until now, it's all a bit almost like, it feels like a product. You got a product, you're going to try and force it down our throats.
It's all
And
a bit hypothetical.
and you're going to have like this and that, and that is going to be a TV show. We're going to do a theme song. We're going to have tie-ins. There's going to be toys and merchandise and all these things. But then you actually give me this issue and go, oh, I actually like the character now. Yes, give me more. Let's do it.
It
Yeah.
feels less, because I think before this, not that we were assuming the worst, but you know, you see this sort of stuff all the time, and you kind of go, okay, they've got plans. They're just seeing the money. But having read it, you kind of go, oh, they might have actually read this and knew what they were signing up.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Is I wonder, because I don't know when all these future stations were written, but I do wonder, the news that they were going to have a 5-issue mini, and then it was only a couple of weeks later that we got the news that there was the TV show in development. I have to wonder if this first batch of future state issues came in, like the early scripts, even before it was drawn or whatever, and someone read this and went, hey, this has staying power. This character might actually be usable and stick around. And then it sort of developed naturally from there, rather than, because, you know, I don't know, it feels kind of like that might have happened.
I feel like there's an easy subsect of comic fans that are terrible people that would have just gone, oh, look, diverse Wonder Woman, you know, and that's why you're shoving this down our throats.
Right.
And that will have been the assumption for a lot of them, I'm sure. But this has real quality, like, clearly. And I say I have to assume someone read this and saw that and went, "Oh no, we are doing."
There's a reason. There's a reason why they're not promising as a follow up, the Guardian backup from Superman.
Right.
Like that's not on anyone's radar.
Right. Well, and see, and you say that, Connor, but about the, you know, they'll say it. Oh, it's just diversity, and they don't actually care about the characters. Their arguments are always so hollow, because if they did, like, this is just a Wonder Woman story. It has no, like, sure, it's a different character, but if you care about Wonder Woman at all, this fits right in with any.
I think it's safe to say, for me at least, I know Pete will definitely disagree, but a lot of my favorite Wonder Woman stories are to do with various mythologies. Obviously, it's mostly Greek, but
For sure.
The Sharp, Brave and the Bold, with all the Irish mythology, love that. And now this here that we're playing with the South American mythologies, I'm so into it all.
Well, just like the character of Ferdinand, right?
Yeah.
He's not a Minotaur.
I mean,
I always forget what he is, you know. But like, that's the type of stuff that I love with Wonder Woman, where they take what we know with mythology and they twist it, and that's what this all was. Even the Hydra. Right?
I mean, I like Ferdinand, and I didn't like that Liam Sharp book, but I didn't like it because it felt impenetrable if you didn't already give a shit about all the various things that were in it, right? I think there's a way to have that mythology in here and make it completely accessible because you love following the character, and that's what this issue was. This issue was completely functional, more than functional. I mean, it always feels like a disservice to just say it's functional, but it completely works despite not really caring about the larger mythology that it's playing with. You know, I'll learn the mythology that's relevant as the book tells it to me, and the stuff that it doesn't explain to me, I don't need to know, and it's fine.
Yeah, you're not going to do what me and Matt do and say, "Oh, what's this name?" And sit there and quickly go and Google. Okay, got it.
No, Comico, whatever the name was. What was the name?
Kaipora.
Kaipora. Yeah, Pakora.
Yeah.
Kaipora, Pakora. I'll try and remember it.
Yeah. So the only reason I can remember it is because there's a Brazilian martial art called capoeira. It's very similar in the name to Kaipora, so that's how I remember it.
Yeah. What I was gonna say is she gave me.
Yeah.
I was getting like sort of like almost. And this is gonna be a weird comparison, given that I'm saying I like the book a lot. But I was getting almost like the little anime character that'll like tell you how to do things in a video game. Like that's what I was getting from her.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's read the book. Matt, what are you giving Future State Wonder Woman issue 1?
I'm giving this a 9.5.
Whoa! Straight to the top.
Bang bang.
Matt, Connor.
I'm just gonna go with the 9, but I mean, I thought I was going to be high, and then Matt kind of undercut me like that.
Yeah, I did not expect to fall in love with Yara Flor.
I am also going with a 9 out of 10. I'm keeping this moving because this is a long episode, so I'm cutting Matt off right now. So there you go. That's Future State Wonder Woman issue 1.